BJP has broken a 37-year-old record in Gujarat with a literally historic victory. The Aam Aadmi Party has arrived officially as a national party, and the Congress, while decimated in Gujarat, has held on and pinned its hopes on Himachal Pradesh. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo Story. Our continuous and special coverage on elections 2022 continues, and on this special broadcast, we'll be discussing what the writing on the wall is in the run-up to 2024. Remember, the general elections are now just a little over a year away. Let's introduce our special guest on the program, our very distinguished panel. Dr. Sanjay Baru is with us, a veteran editor, journalist, former advisor to Dr. Manmohan Singh. Good to see you, Sanjay. Radhika Ramasheshan, really, I think nobody understands politics better than Radhika, so it's great to have you with us. Mohandas Pai, a man of many parts, educationist, industrialist, venture capitalist, and also a political commentator. Good to see you. From the Congress, joining us today is Garima, if we can bring her up into the box. There's Garima Dosani, Congress leader and spokeswoman. Jasmine Shah, a leader of the Aam Aadmi Party, is with us. Always good to have you with us. And finally, from the BJP, it's a leader and spokesperson, Ashwini Shahi. Good to see all of you. It's been a pretty crazy day. Himachal looked like it was in dead heat, and finally, of course, the Congress did emerge in the lead. But let's take a look at the overall numbers before we get going with initial comments from all of you. That's Gujarat, 156. Now, remember, we're picking up now Election Commission data. The EC data is a combination of wins and leads, which means at some point, some of these numbers have not been fully declared. So you could see a little bit of a fluctuation in the next couple of hours. But what is clear is the following. The BJP has broken a 37-year-old record of Madhav Singh Solanki in Gujarat, thereby becoming the best performance by any political party in Gujarat. How does this break down in vote shares for all of the parties? The Aam Aadmi Party has picked up 13%, so not too far from the exit polls, 13% of the vote share, and is leading / winning in 5 seats. And the Congress is down to 17. I mean, that is an absolute decimation. And you know, when we put up the slide which has the swings, can we have the swings graphic in just a moment? That's Himachal, by the way, in the meantime. But I wanted to see the swings for Gujarat. We'll get to Himachal in just a moment, but that's the overall picture in Himachal, where the Congress is leading comfortably in Himachal. And I want to just take a look at the swings graphic, if I can, for a moment in Gujarat. But let me start, as that's being stacked up, bring in initial comments from everybody. Ashwini Shahi, I think बनता है कि आप ही से शुरू करें. आपकी पार्टी का बिल्कुल हिस्टोरिक नतीजा रहा है गुजरात में, लेकिन ये ब्रांड मोदी है. And without the Prime Minister, it looks like the BJP needs him to win every election. आप क्या कहेंगे?
जी, आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई, गुजरात की जनता को बहुत बहुत बधाई, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को बहुत बहुत बधाई. आज इतने भारी मतों से जो है आज गुजरात में हम लोगों ने इतिहास बनाया है. तो ये गुजरात की जनता और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के और गुजरात की नेतृत्व का ये करिश्मा है कि हम लोग वहां पर आ पाए. और इस समय जो है ये देखने को मिल रहा है कि इस वोट परसेंटेज भी हमारा काफी ठीक ठाक हुआ. लगभग 53% के आसपास हम लोग वोट शेयर लेकर आए हैं. और ये इसकी एक खनक उस दिन दिख गई थी जिस दिन से शुरू हुआ कांग्रेस के द्वारा अपशब्दों का प्रयोग, और जो भी रहा वहां पर हुआ है. बहुत सी चीजें रही, बहुत फैक्टर रहे. गुजरात की जनता ने ये बता दिया कि गुजरात मोदी जी का है और मोदी जी गुजरात के हैं. बरखा जी, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है कि आने वाले दिनों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी और भी अब मील का पत्थर जो है हमको लग रहा है लगाती चली जाएगी. और इसके पीछे जो है वही, अब एक लाइन हम कहना चाहेंगे, कुछ पद चिन्हों पर चलते हैं, कुछ पद चिन्ह बनाते हैं. तो हम लोग पद चिन्ह बनाते हुए चल रहे हैं. यहाँ पर जो है हिमाचल में ये हुआ कि 1 साल वही चलता रहा. कोशिश हम लोगों ने बहुत की. बहुत से फैक्टर होंगे हमको जिसकी वजह से जो है गुजरात में हमको जीत मिली, लेकिन हिमाचल में हमको हार का सामना करना पड़ रहा है. तो उसको हम समीक्षा करेंगे. और समीक्षा करने के बाद उसको फिर देखेंगे क्या
मेरा
किया
आपसे
जा
एक
सकता है
सवाल
आगे चुनाव में।
मेरा
जी।
आपसे एक सवाल है, संक्षेप में अगर आप बताएं, जस्ट रिस्पॉन्ड ब्रीफली। आम आदमी पार्टी के बारे में बीजेपी के नेता काफी डिसमिसिव रहते हैं। दिल्ली में द आम आदमी पार्टी वन द म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन इन गुजरात। इट हैज टेकन अप an impressive vote share while it is leading slash winning in about 5 seats. अश्विनी शाही, क्या आप मानेंगे कि अब बीजेपी आम आदमी पार्टी को इग्नोर नहीं कर पाती? गुजरात कैंपेन के दौरान मैं जिस नेता से बीजेपी में बात करती थी वो कहते थे भाई हमारी ऑपोजिशन तो कांग्रेस है। आज आम आदमी पार्टी ने कम से कम ये तो साबित कर दिया कि वो that they need the respect of an opposition party from the BJP point of view.
बरखा जी, आपकी बात एकदम सही है। लोकतंत्र है, लोकतंत्र में किसी को भी जो है चुनाव लड़ने का हक है और अच्छा चुनाव लड़े आम आदमी पार्टी के लोग। सौराष्ट्र में इनको 4 सीटें मिली। लेकिन एक बात तो जरूर हम कहेंगे कि आम आदमी पार्टी बहुत अच्छा पूरे देश में करे, लेकिन फिलहाल न उसके पास नीति है न नियत है, किसी आइडियोलॉजी पर काम नहीं करते हैं। कांग्रेस वाले के पास कम से कम एक अपनी आइडियोलॉजी तो है, इनके पास न नीति है, न नियत है, न नेता है। ये हमको मानना पड़ेगा। हाँ, जनता इनके साथ आ रही है तो इसका हमको समर्थन करना पड़ेगा और इसका हमको सम्मान भी करना पड़ेगा। तो आम आदमी पार्टी के साथ हमारी राय अगर आपने मांगा तो मेरी ये बेबाक राय है, यही,
जी।
इसके अलावा कोई दूसरी राय नहीं।
All right, let me translate that for those who may not be so conversant in Hindi. For our viewers in the South, Ashwini Shaheen of the BJP says, well, we have to respect the Aam Aadmi Party because the people have given the legitimacy to the party, but the party doesn't have an ideology or a point of view. And therefore, I want to take that on cue to Jasmine Shah. My question is a little bit different. My question is this: congratulations, you're officially a national party now with that 13% vote share in Gujarat. But now you will be questioned on who you are, what do you stand for, what are the positions that you take, where are you headed. And in many ways, Jasmine, the AAP is today seen as a post-ideology party. So that's my philosophical question. My political question is, are you happy, disappointed with the numbers? How do you look at what's happened in Gujarat?
Barkha, thank you. And I wanted to first thank the voters and the people of Gujarat who have given a resounding welcome. This was the first election that the Aam Aadmi Party has fought in Gujarat. It was thought to be an impenetrable fort. And on the first occasion itself, we managed to get around 13% vote share, around 40 lakh votes in Gujarat in the first assembly election. On the other hand, the MCD in Delhi was also considered to be a fortress for BJP. BJP, imagine the kind of armory they put into it. Mr. Nadda campaigned 7 chief ministers, 17 central ministers, but we conquered that fortress. So we've conquered the fortress of MCD. We have entered into the fortress of Gujarat, and we are very sure we will only grow strong in the years to come. And yes, we have now become a national party with the recognition in 4 states that is required. On the whole, I see this as a very good outcome. For a small party like ours, we are the youngest party. In mere 10 years of our existence, we have achieved the national party status, which has not happened even with BJP. Today, we know BJP is the largest party, the richest party, which they keep flaunting. But nobody has managed to achieve what the Aam Aadmi Party has set out to achieve. And that is what makes BJP scared of us. You are aware how a media ban was imposed on Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat. We fought Gujarat despite those odds. I do not know in the history of independent India one political party narrating to the entire media of Gujarat that we will not come to your shows if Aam Aadmi Party comes. So they refuse to acknowledge our existence. Today, the people of Gujarat have acknowledged our existence.
Are
and
you happy
nothing
with
could
the
make us more
numbers?
happier.
Are you happy with the numbers, given that Arvind Kejriwal had claimed, including in an interview to me, that you were in a position to form the government? Was that routine political bluster, or do you think you overestimated your chances in Gujarat? That being said, I should say that in 34 seats, when I last looked at the data, the Aam Aadmi Party was in second position. So I just want to say that some of the fights were very close. Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers that I have is around 42 seats we have ended up
Okay.
second,
All right.
and
Okay.
5 seats we are winning. Clearly, every political party fights to win the election, and I think the kind of mood that we were seeing in the last phase of the campaign, you must have noticed the rally CM Arvind Kejriwal held in Gujarat. In Surat, you couldn't see how far the crowds went. So with the kind of reception, I think probably there was more of a curiosity But that panned across Gujarat, because earlier it was thought only that people of Surat, because we won the corporation, we won many seats in the corporation
Yes,
on
in
Surat. But now
2021.
it's
Yeah.
but now it is happening in all parts of Gujarat, be it Jamnagar, Porbandar, the cities, Ahmedabad, Baroda, which are thought to be strongholds of the BJP. AAP is making a fair bit of its presence felt. And I think
Okay.
in the coming years, we will see a very interesting fight directly between AAP and the BJP.
You haven't answered my question on ideology, but hold it. I'll come back to you. I want to bring in the others. Dr. Baru, your big takeaways from what we see today?
Well, I mean, the big takeaway is the fact that the Congress has got a boost in Himachal, because Gujarat, everybody expected the BJP to win, and given this, everybody saying the amount of money they put into Gujarat, the amount of number of leaders they put in, the number of hours and days the Prime Minister spent there. I think the important thing about Gujarat is that for the first time in a long time, it became a three-cornered contest. And when you have a three-cornered contest, there is always an advantage for the major party. Earlier, it was a two-cornered contest. So three-cornered contests do create an advantage for the BJP. And that's a lesson for the opposition, to avoid three-cornered contests in 2024. Because if you have a lot of three-cornered contests, I mean, for example, in Telangana or in Andhra Pradesh or in Gujarat itself, in many other states where there are regional parties and the Congress party, I think the opposition needs a strategy to avoid three-cornered contests. Because the moment you get three-cornered contests, the BJP, the single largest party, always benefits. That's been the history of the Congress. I mean, the Congress was a dominant political party for 30, 40
But
years.
there are no chances or no signs of opposition unity emerging in the aftermath
No,
of this.
that is enough. Barkha, there's enough time for 2024. So that's point number one, that three-cornered contest should be avoided. But the second thing is that I think the Congress has got a boost, morale boost in Himachal, which is necessary. Otherwise, whatever effort is being put in through the Padayatra would not have really worked. And Delhi, Delhi, I think it's an interesting result. I do think, from whatever I know, I live in Delhi, so I know a little bit about Delhi. There is a very clear class divide in Delhi. The middle class, upper middle class, the rich have all been generally pro-BJP. But I think the working class in Delhi, particularly all the small shopkeepers, the auto rickshaw drivers, the rickshawalas, the vegetable vendors, everybody who provides services. And I've spoken to so many of them in the last few days. They are all with the Aam Aadmi Party. So there is an interesting class divide. I don't think that would be true, for example, at the support base of the Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat. I've not looked at what is the social support base. But I think in Delhi, it's very clear. There's a very interesting class divide.
Mohandas Pai, the BJP and its supporters have even today, through the day, shown almost a need to believe in the Congress. They'd much rather have the Congress as their opposition than the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm very intrigued by that. I kept asking the BJP leaders in the campaign, who's your opposition? And they'd say Congress. Today, after these numbers, I asked them and they say Congress. It's like they want to look away from the emergence of the AAP. Is it because the AAP, and I don't know if Jasmine will like this, is it because the AAP is a little bit like them? Not identical, but somewhat similar. It's borrowed a little bit from the Modi playbook. Mohan?
No, Barkha, I would say that one reason could be that the Congress has the potential to set its house in order, mobilize resources, have the leadership bench strength to take on the BJP and to grow. The AAP is a one-person party which has come up and is doing many wrong things. Nobody knows what it stands for, like you say. They don't seem to have an ideology, except to say, I'll give free water, free water and free power and free this, free that. They're still not mature enough to grow. So I would say that the BJP still possibly believes. And two, it could be a way to give them unnecessary importance so that bloated with self-importance, they blow themselves up. The Congress has got a major problem
don't you
today.
think when the BJP brought out chief ministers and union ministers to fight them on a corporation of election, they already did that? If it's about not giving the AAP importance, how did the Delhi MCD become such a big election, Mohan?
You see, Barkha, I read the Delhi MCD election as anger of the people for non-performance in the municipality. Look, Delhi is a very dirty place, excluding New Delhi, right? It's a very dirty place, not well maintained. Municipal services are not working. There's a large degree of corruption. Now, 15 years, BJP has not been able to set it right. And this people's anger If you look at the percentage of votes that AAP got, it's come down. The BJP percentage has gone up and their thing has come down, others have gone up. So I would look at it as a very purely local issue. Even in Himachal, I would say that the BJP did not provide good governance for the last many years and people are showing anger. In Gujarat, obviously, two things. The government has done very well. Jobs are being created, investment is coming in, infrastructure is going up, and there's a Modi factor. I mean, you don't go and abuse Prime Minister Modi in his home state, where people naturally love him for all the things that he has done. And the Congress think that by they're abusing him all over the place, they're going to get worse. I think they lost a lot of votes. AAP is capitalized on the disgruntlement among people in many areas. So the non-BJP votes have gone to AAP. And I think they've done reasonably well. So it's interesting to see what is happening. The sad thing is the Congress still doesn't have its act together.
Yeah, I'll go to the Congress in a moment, but I want to bring in Radhika. Radhika, looking at this completely politically, and if we can also look at the swings, if I can have the swing graphic up for Gujarat in a moment. Radhika, here's my question to you. If you look at those numbers, right, the Congress is down 68 seats. 68 seats. I mean, this is staggering. And Dr. Baru speaks about a morale booster in Himachal, but I don't know if it's enough. And if you can I have the sort of the graphic that also shows us the vote share swing? Then you really get a sense of how much that vote share has fallen and how much it's increased for the BJP, Radhika. This has been a decimation for the Congress, and I'm not sure Himachal Pradesh will compensate for it. Radhika?
Completely agree with you. You know what? Gujarat is, let's not see it in isolation as Gujarat. It is a near total wipeout of the Congress in Western India. I mean, it exists in northern India in small pockets now, possibly Himachal now and Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, yeah. But Western India today, it's just an appendage to the NCP and the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray Shiv Sena in Maharashtra. And in Gujarat, I think, it's the Congress is not going to be able to get its act together. I mean, I foresee a very dismal future. Because if after winning 77 seats, you have frittered away your gains, your vote share to such an extent that you are now what? I mean, like barely 16 or whatever seats from 77. That
17
was,
now. Yeah, 17
that was
now.
an account of the Congress's apathy, the Congress's lethargy, the Congress's disinterest in the state. I mean, to me, the big shocker was when Priyanka Gandhi went to Gujarat to attend a CWC meeting, which was about 2 years ago in Ahmedabad. And from the podium, she says that this is my first visit to Gujarat. I mean, a member of the Nehru Gandhi family not visiting Gujarat all these years. I mean, the home of Gandhi, the home of Sardar Patel was frankly quite shocking to me. So with each, Congress has been out of power for 27 years. Yes, I agree. But its votes stayed in the 40 range. Its vote percentage was always a respectable 30 something, whatever. The absence of Ahmed Patel is a very big factor. Ahmed Patel was the pilot who somehow steered the Congress's ship through choppy waters all these years.
Well, this has been a tsunami by the BJP with no one to steer that ship, I guess.
Yeah, there was absolutely nobody. I mean, you still have these old leaders who belong to another era, whether it's Arjun Modwadia or Bharat Singh Solanki, Amar Singh Chaudhary. They have not bothered to nurture a new generation of leadership, which, I mean, the BJP, I don't want to sound pro-BJP or anything, but the BJP does it quite seamlessly. I mean, they've somehow mastered the ability to effect these generational changes.
Let me just bring in Garima here at this point. Amit Shah has a statement up. Gujarat has given an unprecedented mandate. Narendra Modi, thanks to Mr. Modi, Gujarat has rejected those who do politics of hollow promises, reverie, and appeasement. So there's a swipe at both the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress in that comment by Mr. Shah. But Garima, the fact is, I've been speaking to Congress leaders on this show all day, and some of them are saying it's time to talk about accountability. Who takes accountability for this defeat in Gujarat, according to you, Garima?
Definitely, there have been certain loopholes, but I don't agree to Radhika when she says that But she was aghast when Priyanka Gandhi said that she has not visited Gujarat. So many of us haven't, because her political life, active political life, has been for 4 5 years. She has joined the active politics recently. So that might be possible, but nobody is here talking about the failure of JP Nadda as a national president, that
What
he
is the
loses in
failure?
his home state. So when you say, Barkha, that the spokesperson, you ask the spokesperson of BJP that why they don't consider Aam Aadmi Party as their opposition, I think because they are hand in glove with each other. We have been saying this from the very beginning, that they are not opposition parties, and they came to Gujarat only to give a dent to Congress. Because if you compile the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, you will see that we are neck to neck with the Bharatiya Janata Party. So I think that Himachal, Congress had nothing to lose, but taking away Himachal from the double engine government, it's a big
I'm
victory
just
for us. It's a
I'm
big
just
moral
smiling. I'm
booster.
smiling.
Yeah.
I'm smiling because you say that the BJP and the AAP are hand in glove. The Aam Aadmi Party says the BJP and the Congress have an understanding. What I can say, and I want to bring in Jasmine and Ashwin Shahi now, is that an Aam Aadmi Party leader told me, this is his claim, that the AAP had reached out to the Congress for a seat adjustment in Gujarat and an adjustment and were rebuffed. I don't know. The Congress would have to confirm or deny. Obviously, none of this happened officially. So there's plausible deniability in all of it. But Jasmine, let's bring you in here. I mean, the point is, at some point, it's quite clear that the opposition is all pursuing individual ambitions. And what Garima is really saying is that if you guys fought together, maybe it would be different in terms
You
of
know,
how invincible Mr. Modi looks for 2024.
well, guess what? We have fought in Delhi, won elections convincingly at the state level, had a very clean mandate now in the MCD. We did that in Punjab, where Akalis, along with the BJP, were a significant factor. So I think for Congress to start, and we've seen this 10 years. Over the last 10 years now, Aam Aadmi Party has emerged as a national party. I request, my colleague here from Congress and all others to please, you also start acknowledging Aam Aadmi Party as alternative that the people of India are embracing. In 10 years, no other party has managed to do that. So, to keep calling us as the B team of BJP or BJP calling us as the B team of Congress just shows your childishness, nothing more. And the question to be asked is, why is it that people are embracing the Arvind Kejriwal model of development? We heard about ideology, and let me sort of answer that, straight on the point. This is a party that stands for honesty above everything else. Today, 140 cases, 170 cases have been filed against our leaders in Delhi. This is the extent of victimization that has happened of us. Not one of them has stood up in the scrutiny. 140 cases have been thrown out. The remaining 30 are still being pursued. We stand for putting the issues of the people first. Today, tell me, even in Gujarat, for so many years, has any party campaigned on the plank of education and health? Even the BJP doesn't do that.
So if I had to ask you what sets you apart, what makes the AAP different from the BJP and the Congress? I asked Arvind the same question, but let me ask you, Jasmine. What would be your answer? What is distinctive
It's
about the
very
AAP?
simple. It's very simple. BJP and Congress can take an hour to explain their ideology. Our ideology boils down to two things: Kattar Imandari and Kattar Deshbhakti. Okay. And Kattar Deshbhakti means, we have a vision for what the future of India will be. For us, healthcare, education, basic utilities free of cost for the people, the most deprived sections of the society. When we give 10 lakh crores NPAs write off to the most richest people in India, we say that suddenly, this is great, this is economic development. But when we support, we provide some help to the poorest people, while netas are enjoying free electricity, if we give 200 or 300 free electricity, and mind you, questions are asked that this will ruin the economy. I'll give you one important point and then I'll stop. In Delhi, we've been giving this free services, free healthcare, education, water, electricity, and free bus travel to women. For the last 7 years, what has happened? We run a balanced budget in Delhi. Delhi is the only state which runs a surplus budget. Compare that with Gujarat. They give none of these things free. Not a
Okay,
single.
let me
6,000 schools
jump.
have been shut down. But 1.5 lakh
Barkha, I
crore
have a
is the
question.
debt. In
Yeah,
Gujarat, the
hang on,
government
hang
is
on.
in 1 lakh crore debt, 1.5 lakh crore. Please ask the gentleman from BJP that why are you in debt if you're not providing any services? It is the corruption that is ruining your state, not free services for the poor.
Before Ashwini and Garima respond, I want to get in Dr. Baru and Mohan. Please, Dr. Baru. It's a very interesting question about whether the AAP is going to become a pivot for opposition politics, and not for anything else right now, but for opposition politics. They're certainly going to build on everything they've achieved so far. Their ambition is there for all to see, and they are definitely partially borrowing from the BJP playbook and evolving constantly. Whereas some say the Congress is stuck in time. Without any value judgment of either party, how do you see it?
No, and I do think that AAP has certainly a much more socially focused model of development. I see it in Delhi. I live in Delhi. I see it in Delhi. And as I said earlier, the class divide is very clear. The beneficiaries of their social policies, education, healthcare, etc., have become loyal. And the loyalty of the base, the social base, is incredible. I mean, you have to talk to people to realize how they built a loyal base. BJP also has built a loyal base based on a certain ideology of Hindutva, etc. So, that loyal base, if it can expand across the country, I think will take up. But there are two different games going on today. One is the long-term game of AAP trying to kind of replace the Congress as the major national opposition party. But 2024 is too close for AAP to do that. And therefore, I think for 2024, AAP has to have a realistic assessment of where it can go on its own and where it has to work with the Congress. And Congress bashing is not going to help AAP. I think BJP would love to see this division of the opposition.
Yeah.
But certainly there is. I don't think it's correct to say AAP doesn't have an ideology. I think the ideology is very much social in its focus. I've heard a lot of old communists say that AAP is doing what we wanted to do. Education, healthcare, benefits for the poor. I think those are very, very important in a country like ours with high inequality, high unemployment. The economy is not growing; it's in shambles. So I do think AAP has a very good program.
Let me get Mohan in. Sabah Naqvi is joining us. Hi, Sabah. Mohan, you were nodding vociferously in disagreement when Jasmine was speaking, so I must allow you to come in, and then I'll go to Ashwini and Garima and Radhika, of course. Mohan, go ahead, please.
Barkha, when AAP came on the scene many years ago as a result of the anti-corruption campaign, many of us supported. I gave personal money, but I'm extremely disappointed at the anarchy they have, at the fake narratives they do, like this fake narrative by the gentleman who says that, oh, Delhi does not have a debt revenue. No, Delhi government does not invest in infrastructure. The police for Delhi are paid by you and me from outside Delhi because our money goes for the police. They're not like a normal state. All right. While as Gujarat has built infrastructure, Gujarat has built, and has only got 3 lakh crore as debt or something like that. The debt is all gone for infrastructure. The big challenge for India today in 2022 is creating jobs for people and large number of jobs. We have to create 1.5, 2 crore jobs a year. We are creating about 1.2 crore, 1.3 crore jobs. Though 80% of them don't pay more than 20,000 rupees. And we have to increase that. And there has to be honesty. They've been stuck in that, excise case and all kind of stuff. I wish they become more honest and straight. Now,
but the people of Delhi still gave them the vote. Those corruption allegations, yes, there were some dents in Manish Sisodia's seat. Yeah, hang on, Jasmine. But people of Delhi still voted.
Barkha, their vote share has come down. And in Delhi, the BJP MCD had a very abysmal record. I mean, they're messed up for 15 years. They're not given good governance. There has been corruption. The city has not given the necessary. So AAP has come. And yes, like Sanjay has said, the AAP's focus on the bottom of the pyramid has been good. People have benefited. But what are the future? You see, unless you invest where you get benefits 7-8 years from now, where are the jobs going to come? Where's the infrastructure going to come? See, the balance between long-term and medium-term while remaining in poor, they have taken the short-term remain in power, which is good. I mean, AAP has come up. We have to recognize that. They've done remarkably well in 10 years. Now, are they going to do remarkably well in the next 10 years, become the major opposition party? I don't know. The jury is out.
Okay, we'll ask Jasmine to respond in just a moment. Jasmine, just give me a second to get the others. अश्विनी जी, आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, आपके सवाल का जवाब जास्मिन शाह ने दिया कि भाई आपकी आइडियोलॉजी क्या है। उन्होंने कहा हम कट्टर ईमानदार कट्टर देशभक्त हैं। ये तो बीजेपी भी कहेगी। आज बीजेपी के एक प्रवक्ता ने कहा कि गुजरात में जो हुआ है दैट इज अ विन ऑफ विकास, डेवलपमेंट, राष्ट्रवाद, नेशनलिज्म एंड हिंदुत्व. Jasmine didn't name Hindutva, but some people say that they are today practicing at least a kind of soft cultural Hinduism, at least in their messaging. Ashwini ji, आप क्या कहेंगे? और आप अपने आप को अनम्यूट कर लीजिए प्लीज. गरिमा, 1 सेकेंड.
देखिए बरखा जी, जैस्मिन जी ने कहा कि इनका आइडियोलॉजी जो है कट्टर हिंदुत्व है, ईमानदारी है, और कट्टर जो है देशभक्ति है. ईमानदारी के बारे में तो इनके चर्चे हैं, बहुत ईमानदारी ये करते हैं. एक ईमानदारी का मैं वो करता हूं क्योंकि समय नहीं है. दिल्ली में जब से ये आए हैं तब से कुछ पेंशन होता था, वृद्धा पेंशन, महिला पेंशन, ये सब बंद कर दिया इन्होंने. लेकिन आज भी बीएसईएस के बिजली के बिल में 7% सरचार्ज ये लेते हैं. ये इतने बड़े ईमानदार हैं, देते नहीं हैं, लेते हैं बिल में, बिजली के बिल में. दूसरा, इनकी देशभक्ति. पंजाब जाते हैं तो गांधी जी गायब, भगत सिंह आ जाते हैं देशभक्ति में. गुजरात जाते हैं तो वहां के करंट अफेयर्स पर अगर पूछा जाता है मनीष सिसोदिया जी से, बिल्किस बानो पर बोलिए, वो कुछ बोलते ही नहीं है, देशभक्ति वहां गायब हो जाती है. तो देशभक्ति
सर, आपकी पार्टी के एमएलए जिन्होंने उन रेपिस्ट को संस्कारी ब्राह्मण का, वो तो जीत.
देखिए, अब ये बहस दूसरे तरफ पर खाई चली जाएगी. मैं चूंकि इस पर अगर टाइम हो तो आप बताइए, आप बढ़ा लीजिए, मैं इस पर भी जवाब देने के लिए तैयार हूं, मैं तैयार हूं. दूसरी, कट्टर ईमानदारी की मैं बात कर रहा हूं. कट्टर ईमानदारी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के साड़ू होते हैं. फरीदाबाद में रेणु कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी होती है, वो इस समय नहीं है दुनिया में, नहीं कहना चाहिए, लेकिन 10 करोड़ का बिना काम के पेमेंट उनको कर दिया जाता है, जो कंपनी ही नहीं है. तो ऐसी कट्टर ईमानदारी ये लोग करते हैं, वो कट्टर ईमानदारी इनकी है. तीसरी चीज इन्होंने कहा, स्वास्थ्य शिक्षा का मॉडल बनाया आतिशी जी ने, लागू किया मनीष सिसोदिया जी ने, और दोनों के कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में सभी सीटें हार गई. मनीष जी क्या 4 में से 3 हार गई, आतिशी जी की सारी हार गई. तो यानी कि मॉडल फेल कर दिया शिक्षा का. स्वास्थ्य मंत्री जेल में है, उनके कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में सारी पार्षद की सीट हार गई है. लोग
जीते कैसे फिर?
नहीं, स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के क्षेत्र में जितने पार्षद अभी कल चुनाव हुआ वो सब हार गए. यानी कि स्वास्थ्य भी फेल, शिक्षा भी फेल. जनता ने, वहां की जनता ने किया है, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूं, ये मैं कह रहा हूं.
जी, आपने ये सही कहा कि मनीष सिसोदिया और सत्येंद्र जैन की जो कंस्टिट्यूंसीज हैं, जो एरियाज हैं, उनमें नुकसान जरूर पहुंचा है, बीजेपी ने दिया है. Jasmine, I know you've got a hand up for a long time, but you've got to let me allow Sabha and Garima to make 2 comments, and then I promise I'll come to you. Garima, go ahead. Garima.
Now, I totally agree when the BJP spokesman says that they don't have any niti or niyat, because as he rightly pointed out, that when it was the case of Bilkis Bano, Manish Sisodia's statement was there. He said that we only work for Shiksha and Swast, and women empowerment or women security is not their priority. So this is the kind of mindset Aam Aadmi Party has got, and it is the most corrupt as far as the liquor scam is concerned in Delhi. So everybody knows what Aam Aadmi.
You actually agree with the BJP and their cases against
the first time, or it's an exceptional case, I feel. I believe so.
Okay. All right. Politics has many ironies. I want to bring in Sabha, who first wrote about a dispirited opposition in Gujarat and never were truer words spoken. But the AAP is now officially a national party. Sabha, your comments?
Yeah, I mean, but the AAP performance both in Delhi and Gujarat, they have managed to win the MCD, but it's been underwhelming. It's not been an overwhelming performance. Since is this section of your programming about Aam Aadmi Party?
No, we're looking at the results. You can talk about anything you want to pick up.
So it has been disappointing for them, and I think AAP has a particular. I have always admired them for their energy, audacity, but I think there was a time when they emerged on the Delhi scene when they were courageous, they were unorthodox, they were radical in the way they would attempt all sorts of impossible odds. Now that they have got trapped in sometimes in trying to this fear, this Stockholm syndrome, that like the BJP, we have to do this and we have to do that. It doesn't have that Buland Azadi voice any longer. I'll say this, I have many friends in AAP much before Jasmine Shah was there. I have known them and covered them, and I still keep in touch with them. But I think, and you have seen that in the Delhi result. You tried to be a Hindu. You're trying to play a Hindutva card in front of the BJP. You know, what have you gained? The BJP vote share has gone up. And so that is one thing AAP has to reflect on. Not only has the BJP vote share gone up, according to one of the exit polls, they are even losing Dalit votes. So let AAP understand itself. Let them understand what their social base was all about. When they got the entire, because I segmented it for my book, when they got the entire section, when the entire BSP in Delhi shifted en masse to AAP in 2015, what they're even losing that section, according to one opinion poll, a section. These are very, very serious things to understand who your voter is and not to have a fantasy. You know,
But
and you
Sabha,
cannot
equally the
look,
AAP
the
has,
BJP remains
but
committed to its ideology, whatever it is, whether I like it or don't like it. AAP has this problem. At the same time, I admire they're fighting against great odds. And I think corruption charges, sure enough, but we are talking about a party and a media ecosystem, a party which gets all the electoral bonds, a party which gets almost all the political finance, where data shows up that ED and income tax raids are only done on opposition. This is a reality. This is not my opinion. These are data sets. So
okay, let me bring in
let's
Jasmine and then Radhika. Let me
yeah.
bring in Jasmine and then Radhika. Jasmine, sorry, go ahead. You've been waiting.
No, I mean, the kind of, I can appreciate that Mr. Mohan also has ideologically been opposite to AAP, but that doesn't give him the right
I mean, he
to
said he was an
put
early
any kind
donor.
of
He said he was an early donor to your
absolutely,
party. Or
absolutely.
your
I heard
movement.
that. I heard
Yeah.
that, and I thank
Yeah.
him for his support early on. But to say that AAP is not building any infrastructure, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. You can choose to disagree with AAP for other reasons, but don't propagate falsehoods. AAP has built, I'll give you numbers. AAP has built 30 flyovers. Signature Bridge was built by Aam Aadmi Party. Right now, we have a massive infrastructure project to redo 500 kilometers of the arterial roads of Delhi on the lines of European roads. School buildings are being built, hospitals are being built, mohalla clinic. So only if 5-star stadiums and statues qualify as infrastructure for Mr. Mohan,
Allow me,
probably
Jasmine.
that's the case. Second,
Jasmine, you
second,
have
I'll
to.
Congress.
Jasmine,
Garima,
you
one
have
Let
second.
to
me. I have
agree.
not finished.
You
I have
have
not
to
Garima, one
agree
You
minute.
that
can
your
make your
free
point.
magic is not working. Your free magic didn't work in Uttarakhand.
Acha,
Look at the
1
plight
minute.
of your
Can
Mukhyamantri
I?
Let,
candidate, and your free
Listen,
magic didn't work in Gujarat. So you have
ma'am,
to
let him
agree to
finish.
that your free magic
Ma'am,
is not working at all.
ma'am, let him finish. I will give you a chance to respond. Jasmine, please go
I
ahead. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
responded to Mr. Mohan. Now I wanted to respond to my colleague from Congress. This is perfectly, this showcases the intellectual depth of Congress when it says we are an ideology-driven party. Every single time when Aam Aadmi Party was being victimized or vindictive politics was at play in Delhi, be it these 170 false cases, or be it when the unelected LG took away powers from the elected CM of Delhi, who was the first who was standing on the roof and
How do you
cheering and
respond?
clapping the
How do you
hardest? It
respond to
was
the
the Congress.
perception? Can I ask you
Congress
something
is the one
briefly?
who has always been trying to support the BJP every time they've been trying to pull Aam Aadmi Party down.
This is a
Not one of
fascinating thing. Both Congress and AAP are convinced that the other party has a pact with the BJP. My question is a little bit pointed. Make it short because I want to go to the others. Hindutva, the soft Hindutva, the asking for Lakshmi on the currency notes, the borrowing from the BJP playbook. There is a difference in the AAP of today. What is that difference according to you? You're not the party that led the India Against Corruption movement. Everybody changes. How have you changed?
No, absolutely not. I completely deny any of such even points or insinuations being made. As I said, we have always been steadfast in what our development model is. Yes, what probably differentiates us from Congress is that and I'll talk about the CM because he talks openly about this, that he is not afraid to say that he is a Hindu, and if he wants to go to a Hanuman Mandir or read out a Hanuman Chalisa, does that make him communal? I mean, we have never pitted one community against the other. We have never asked for votes in the name of religion. So therefore, to say that Aam Aadmi Party is some lesser version of Modi or BJP, tell me which in the last 70 years, where has BJP
Okay.
made education and healthcare
Okay.
the biggest factor of
So,
its
so,
election campaign?
so let me ask Garima this. We'll have to do a separate program on pluralism, secularism, Hindutva. Even Shashi Tharoor has a book called Why I'm a Hindu. So everybody has understood that there needs to be a certain kind of mainstreaming of idioms and metaphors and cultural references that a large number of people understand. My question to you, Garima, is this. Okay, hope in Himachal Pradesh. But what are you going to do next? The Bharat Jodo Yatra's political efficacy is going to be questioned after this wipeout in Gujarat. Already, people are saying, is the Congress an NGO? Is Rahul Gandhi a politician or is he a fakir? What is he?
See, I think the influence and impression of Bharat Jodo Yatra will be seen in 2024 and also in the 9 states where the elections are there in 2023. So I think that we have a lot of chaos going on while the leadership change was there. Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh elections were at a point when Mallikarjun Kharge ji was elected as a national chairman for our party. So there was a lot of overhauling going on simultaneously. I think we are committed to do better in 2023, and the congressmen, I feel that a lot of people are joyous about our victory in Himachal Pradesh. We spoke very little in this program about Himachal Pradesh, where it's a defeat for Mr. Thakur, who's the minister. It's the defeat for the national president of Bharatiya Janata Party, JP Nadda. We didn't speak at large about Himachal
No,
Pradesh in this program.
that's a fair point, and I was just telling my producer we must bring up the Himachal Pradesh numbers. So please let's have them on our screen, and there they are. The decisive lead, in fact, win by the Congress, 40 to BJP's 25. And I think, Radhika, that's the question. While I don't personally think Himachal will offset politically the decimation in Gujarat, when we look at the larger national political picture, it does prove that the Congress, when it wants to fight, does fight. In Gujarat, it seems to have certainly just given a walkover.
Yeah, I don't want to undermine the significance of Himachal just because it brings in fewer seats than Gujarat. Because if you compare Gujarat with Uttar Pradesh is a far larger state, and Gujarat sort of becomes much smaller in comparison. So I think I don't want to go into this definition of large and small state. The significance of Himachal lies in the fact that the Congress's local leaders fought the election. It was fought on entirely local issues. The problems of apple growers being a very important issue, the Agnipath, then unemployment. I mean, in inflation, lack of rural road connectivity. Again, that's an important issue in Himachal Pradesh. But I think the overwhelming factor was the apple growers, and the apple belt has voted for the Congress. So they are two contrasting states. In Gujarat too, there were local points of discontent, very strong discontent among social groupings,
But
among
even
economic
in
groupings.
Morbi, the BJP won or was leading when I
Yeah,
last
so the
checked,
point
quite
in Gujarat
handsomely.
is
Yeah,
that every
yeah.
voter will tell you, talk about crib about inflation, joblessness, but it was a failure of the opposition to build an overarching narrative that would have cornered the government. And by opposition, I obviously mean the Congress. Whereas in Himachal Pradesh, the Congress was able to put the BJP, the 5-year rule of the BJP on the mat. I think that is the big difference.
Well,
And
Himachal also has a pattern, Radhika, a historic pattern that held eventually. The BJP did
well,
put up
even
a good.
Uttarakhand had a
Correct,
revolving thing
correct.
syndrome, but that that didn't happen the last time. The BJP won Himachal.
Okay,
So
let me just jump in to get last comments. We have about 15 minutes left in this segment. Sanjay, I'll start with you. Looking ahead now, Sanjay Baru.
Well, I think looking ahead, as I said earlier, there is a need for Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress to have a realistic assessment of their relative strengths. I think this tutu mai mai between these two is not going to help either of them in 2024 because they're both competing for the same constituency of support. The BJP is very secure at the moment as a national political party. And for any one political party to imagine that they can unseat them in 2024 is a pie in the sky. So I think we need to move towards some kind of an understanding between opposition political parties. The fact that Aam Aadmi Party attended Mr. Kharge's meeting today with all the opposition parties, I think was a good sign. But both Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party have to have a realistic assessment of their real strength. and not pretend that they are the principal opposition to the BJP. They are neither of them is the principal opposition. There are many other political parties. There's Mamata Banerjee in Bengal, there's KCR in Telangana, there's DMK in Tamil Nadu. So, there needs to be a realistic assessment of all these parties, what their strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
Then only you can have some kind of an alternative bill.
Okay, let me get in Mohan because yours. Thanks, Sanjay. Thanks. We let you go now. Let me get in Mohan now. Mohan, your state, Karnataka. Next election is there. That's going to be fascinating. The Congress seems to be there in the game, but equally, Aam Aadmi Party leaders through the day have been saying that they will now not. They will look at other states as well. Mohan, let's bring you in. Looking ahead.
Looking ahead in Karnataka, I think most people say it's going to be a three-leg race between the JDS, Congress, and BJP. Obviously, the Congress has a great chance of getting more votes and seats than earlier. That's what they say, because there is a sense of anger in the people at the lack of improvement in their lives because of the BJP and the political shenanigans that have gone through. I think it's going to be a three-leg race. I don't see the AAP making much of a inroads into Karnataka. There could be some votes that they get in some pockets because of local people's unhappiness. They don't have the leadership in Karnataka to really challenge the three parties. And honestly, I don't think in Karnataka there's a place for an anarchist party like AAP. Karnataka is a well-developed state. We don't have these problems. We already give a lot more subsidies. We give one of the largest subsidies to people. So coming and saying, I'll give free power, free water is not going to get them votes. They got to spell out how they're going to develop Karnataka, how they're going to create high-quality jobs, etc.
Okay.
And they don't have a good face in Karnataka. Small timers. Yeah. So I think they got to cut out. But it certainly is going to be a three-leg race, Barkha.
Yeah, before I go to the three politicians, I want to bring in Sabha, because Sabha had a very interesting story about a voter, Sabha, that you met in Gujarat. And what that voter told you has actually come true. If you want to just share that story, because it's a story worth telling, because another journalist today was telling me, Gujarat mein ek hi sentiment hai, wo Modi hai. Modi is the sentiment. Aankh band karke, Modi ji is the sentiment. Sabha?
So here I was surrounded by diamond traders who I thought that I would get the figuring out patidars from Surat to, the whole connection and all that. So they came and they surrounded me and they said, Bhenji, and there was a lot of breakaways happening in the BJP. They said, aap ek baat samajh lijiye. And in the past, we used to hear this saying that even if a lamppost, Jawaharlal Nehru said, even if a lamppost stands, then for Nehru they will win. They said, Gadha bhi khada ho jaye. गधा भी खड़ा हो जाए इस बार तो मोदी जी ही जीतेंगे तो फिर मैंने then I put the question to them in Hindi. I said तो फिर पिछली बार तो आपने पाटीदार आंदोलन को बैक किया था वो सब दौर खत्म हो गया ये गुजरात का दौर है अब देखिए हम लोग हमारे पूंजीपति I mean they spoke about the big capital they spoke about cricketers Gujarat is shining because of everything the Gujarati cricketers all of this was said. So one very quickly, and the cricketers also, everything is happening because Modi ji. So it was not lamppost. They said, Gadha bhi khada, Modi ji hi jeetenge, बहन जी आप जहाँ भी जाओ, चाहे कुछ भी बोलो, ये आप समझ लो.
But on the other hand, the Aam Aadmi Party is number 2 in 42 seats. Right? So it's
42 seats. Okay. I was not followed up. I was writing a piece.
I had seen 34. Jasmine updated me on 42. So that's his figure. And it's just interesting, including making a dent in some of the Adivasi areas. I'm looking at the data very closely. Ashwini ji, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगी. Modi ji, brand Modi from municipal election to assembly to national election. अच्छी बात है. Everyone uses their strongest assets in love and war. लेकिन state level leadership यूपी में तो है शायद एक दो और प्रदेश में कह सकते हैं लेकिन बहुत जगह नहीं है. दिल्ली आप देख लीजिए there are no faces. There are no faces to the Delhi BJP. It hasn't been in power in India's capital since 1998. In the assembly, I mean, not Lok Sabha. Yeah.
जी बरखा जी देखिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी एक अकेली ऐसी पार्टी है जो सेकंड लाइन तैयार करके चलती है. जहां है वो ठीक है वो मजबूत है जहां नहीं है वहां हम तैयार कर रहे हैं और इसमें कहीं हम पीछे नहीं रहते हैं. थोड़ा सा मैं अपनी कांग्रेस की बहन गरिमा जी को बताना चाहूंगा कि कांग्रेस के बारे में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के बारे में कुछ इन्होंने जो भी अपना दिखाया. हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी अगर वहां पर चुनाव हारने की जिम्मेदारी है तो मल्लिकार्जुन जी की भी इतनी बुरी हार की जिम्मेदारी उनकी होती है गरिमा जी. जो इतनी बुरी हार आज तक गुजरात में कांग्रेस की कभी नहीं हुई थी. और भारत जोड़ो यात्रा जो है उस यात्रा की कोई मंजिल ही नहीं है. उस यात्रा में राहुल जी को यह नहीं पता है कि 17 राज्यों में एक भी एमपी नहीं है. 5 राज्यों में कोई एमएलए नहीं है उनका, 11 राज्यों और यूटी में एक एक एमपी है उनका। तो ये चीज करने के बजाय कहीं भी अगर वो ध्यान देते, 17 मिनट का भाषण गुजरात में देते हैं और उसमें वोट की अपील नहीं करते हैं।
एक मिनट गरिमा,
गुजरात की जनता के साथ ये धोखा है। 17 मिनट की भाषण में वोट की अपील नहीं करते हैं। हिमाचल वो जाते नहीं है। और भारत जो अखंड है, हमने 370 हटाया, उसके बाद आज भी कांग्रेस कहती है कि हम 370 को वापस करेंगे। 370 हटाने से 2 झंडा हटा, 1 झंडा हुआ। हमने भारत को जोड़ा। और कौन से भारत जोड़ने निकले हैं राहुल जी? देखिए, कांग्रेस अस्ताचल के तरफ है। आज मैं अभी सवेरे से कई मीडिया चैनल पे था, कई लोगों ने मेरी बात को डिटो किया कि आने वाले दिनों में 2 राज्य, राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ से कांग्रेस साफ होने जा रही है। सिर्फ एक राज्य में आप बचेंगे, वो भी जो आज हिमाचल आपको मिल गया है, वो भी राहुल गांधी जी के वजह से नहीं मिला है। वहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी हारी है, चाहे जिस कारण से हारी हो, वो मैं एक्सेप्ट करता हूं इस चीज को।
गरिमा जी,
देखिए अश्विनी जी, बहुत अच्छी बात है कि राहुल जी की वजह से हिमाचल में कांग्रेस नहीं जीती है। हम चाहते भी नहीं, हम चाहते हैं कि संगठन आगे हो। हम चाहते भी नहीं कि आपकी तरह मोदी जी के नाम पर हम प्रदेश जीतते चले जाएं और नीचे धरातल में संगठन और कार्यकर्ता की अनदेखी हो जाए। गुजरात में आपके कार्यकर्ताओं ने भी काम किया होगा, लेकिन आज जय जयकार किसकी हो रही है? मोदी की हो रही है। और मेरी चेतावनी और चुनौती है आपको, शंखनाद हो चुका है हिमाचल प्रदेश से। हिमाचल प्रदेश और उत्तराखंड जो है हिमालयी राज्यों में आते हैं, और एक बार ये शुरुआत हो गई। हमारे पास तो खोने के लिए कुछ नहीं था, दोनों राज्य आपके पास थे। डबल इंजन की सरकार हिमाचल प्रदेश में आपकी थी, फेल हो गई ना डबल इंजन की सरकार हिमाचल प्रदेश में, आपके जबड़े से खींच कर लाए हैं। अब आगे भी देखिएगा कि पूरे देश में इस भारत जोड़ो यात्रा का, मैंने कहा ना, किसी चीज का धीरे धीरे इफेक्ट होता है। ये कोई एलोपैथिक दवाई नहीं है, ये भारत जोड़ो यात्रा है। इसका धीरे धीरे इफेक्ट होगा। जो जन सैलाब, जो जन समूह, जो आशीर्वाद राहुल गांधी जी को मिल रहा है। और खड़गे जी की हार है, आप कह रहे हैं खड़गे जी का गृह जनपद नहीं था, या खड़गे जी का राज्य नहीं था गुजरात, नड्डा जी का राज्य था हिमाचल प्रदेश। इसलिए नड्डा जी के सेहरा बांध रहे हैं हार का। और खड़गे जी ने तो अभी नया नया उनको मिला हुआ है अपना राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष का ताज।
मुझे बोलने दीजिए, आप मुझे बोलने दीजिए। अश्विनी, I'll allow you a brief response. I have 5 minutes left. I want to give Jasmine a last word and bring Radhika and Sabha and Mohan for their quick thoughts. So जल्दी से अगर आप रिस्पॉन्ड करना चाहें कि भाई ये क्विक फिक्स नहीं है, ये नड्डा जी की हार है जो हुआ है हिमाचल में।
चलिए, मैं तो कहता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी अगर जीत का जश्न मनाना जानती है तो हार को आत्मसात करना भी जानती है। और नड्डा जी हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष हैं, तो ये उनकी हार है हिमाचल की, इसमें कोई हमें दुख नहीं है। मगर भारतीय जनता, वो भारत जोड़ो यात्रा जो है, होम्योपैथ की जो दवाई है, वो मीठी वाली गोली है या उसमें वो टिंचर भी मिला हुआ है, तो वो आजकल अलग है। और गांधी परिवार के बगैर आप अगर कल्पना कर सकते हो कांग्रेस की, तो ये आप लोग कर नहीं सकते। ये तो है ही है।
अच्छा, चलिए, Jasmine, what next for the Aam Aadmi Party? You're officially national. Arvind has just tweeted about it. What next? Where are your eyes set next? Are you going back to Gujarat to build on Gujarat, like you did in Punjab, where it was a 2-stage kind of attempt? So are you going to hunker down and focus on one state at a time, or are you going to now, buoyed by what's happened in Delhi and your vote share in Gujarat, spread yourself across?
Barkha, first I'll say that we'll all first breathe in deep. It's been a 10-year journey, and to be the youngest party or the party that has made to the national party status in 10 years, it's not just my effort. I mean, I've been with the party only for 6 years. There are people who have worked relentlessly since the days of the Anna Andolan, stuck with the party, held out the hope. Even in Gujarat, we have people who have been part of Anna Andolan. For 10 years, they have worked for today us to get a 13% vote share. It hats off to the efforts and the countless hours for all these volunteers. I think the path from here can only be up, up, and up. People of India, these results cumulatively over the last 10 years shows that there is a hunger, there is a need for an honest alternative, that talks about the issues of the people, that makes health, education, and issues that affect the millions of lives of people on a day-to-day basis as the central plank of election, and not idhar udhar ki baat. So we are buoyed by these results, and for us, the entire of India is our playground. Wherever the people of the country are ready for change, they can look forward to Aam Aadmi Party as that agent and platform for change.
Agents of change, and quite clear that India is the goal, not one state at a time. I want to bring in, I have the same question for Mohan, Radhika, and Sabha. Very quickly, if you had to give one piece of advice each to the three political parties in play today, Aam Aadmi Party, BJP, and Congress, what would that be? Mohan, I'll start with you.
But Barkha, I would tell the Congress, please explain to people what you stand for. There's too much of confusion. Putting one family forward and saying that they are what the reason for existence is not going to work. Nobody understands what you stand for today, because young people are the majority of voters. They don't have a fascination for Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru. Nobody remembers Jawaharlal Nehru among the great majority of voters. Please, talk about what you want to do. And I have a piece of advice for the AAP to say, be more honest. Don't put it only on giving free water free. That's not going to sell all of the country. Have a good agenda, develop local leaders, get good people, and start abusing others and
for the
going to get
BJP,
you votes.
and for the BJP, any advice?
And for the BJP, I would say focus on governance, stop corruption in many states, make sure that people get happy, the quality of life for people in the states that you rule improve, especially in the state of Karnataka. They really have to pull their act together. And I think it's very important, because Himachal proves that local issues dominate state elections.
Absolutely. Sabha, same question.
Well, to Congress, sorry.
Yeah.
I think the Congress is trying to get its ideological moorings on the constitutional basis, right? But how are you going to be a fight? You didn't fight in Gujarat. Let's understand this. I went there. Jignesh Mevani was doing crowdfunding.
Yeah.
It is entirely to each his own. I mean, you think he has, I think, won, I think
I was just checking. It's been going up and down. Has
up
Mr.
and down.
Mevani
He has,
won?
I think, won. So they have these couple of good Anand Patel, Jignesh Mevani, these young, one Adivasi, one Dalit, who I'm told had won. As for Aam Aadmi Party, I really admire their spunk, their courage with the system on their back. But I genuinely believe that they are limiting themselves with the way they try and cope with what they think. It's a complete, their minds are hijacked by the ideological space which belongs entirely to the BJP. Nobody has to go around saying, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I do this. What is that? That is Hindutva is a philosophy of Savarkarji. You want to follow that, then understand what it's all about. You don't have to go, everybody is religious. And religion has, Digvijay Singh is the most religious politician I have known. Advani was not religious. Radhika will back it out. He used to tell us that he's a political Hindu. So let's understand this. So I think AAP is floundering. As for the BJP, I have one wish for them, that they should respect the mandates and not do the post-mandate things that have been done in this country. And I refer to this whole declaration that the mayor will be ours in Delhi. That is very important. And the fact that the Congress is now running, apparently hiding its MLAs of Himachal Pradesh. That is deeply worrying for the whole democratic process. That's not a BJP, that's a democracy issue. So those are my things.
I just checked before I give Radhika the last word. Jignesh Mevani is leading by close to 5,000 votes, but it's not a declared result yet. So we are not declaring it as a finished result. Radhika, wrap this up for us. Radhika.
Yeah, to the BJP, be inclusive, be democratic, and be kind towards the minorities. I mean, I think the definition of inclusiveness should cover that, because I think the minorities have really gone through hell since 2014. So that would be my message to the BJP. My message to the Congress is that, what do you stand for? I mean, I don't understand what the intent of the Bharat Jodo Yatra is. Bharat does hang together as one entity. So what does he mean? I mean, does he mean bring the communities together, bring the geographical entities together? I think clear messaging is what the Congress needs. And as for AAP, I agree with Sabha. I mean, don't get tangled in this whole business of soft Hindutva, hard Hindutva, and trying to be more Hindu than the BJP. People will always go for the real thing, which is the BJP in this case. There is nothing like soft Hindutva. Either you're hard Hindutva or you are liberal, left of center, secular, whatever you want to call it. So
okay. I'm going to say thank you to all of you now, to Garima, to Ashwini, to Jasmine, to Radhika, Sabha, Mohan, and earlier to Sanjay. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure to have all of you. Have a great evening. We're our coverage, Jasmine. There. Oh, thank you, guys. And we are continuing our special coverage. Stay with us. It is 6 p.m. And if you have just joined us, this is what the numbers are looking like at this time in that big election in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. Can we first bring up Gujarat. Let's take a look at the Gujarat numbers. There it is. The BJP has broken a 37-year-old record of Madhav Singh Solanki. It is now, these numbers, by the way, are leads and wins because the Election Commission hasn't declared all results yet, but it is now ahead in 156 seats, 5 to the Aam Aadmi Party, but a much more impressive vote share there, close to 13%, and 17 there to the Congress. It is a wipeout for the Congress. It had one of its best performance in decades in 2017 at 77 seats, which are now down to 17. Let's take a look at Himachal Pradesh, and then we'll do a closer dive. Oh, okay, let's take a look first at the swings. All right, I think my producer has a mind of his own, so let's go with what he wants me to look at. Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh is the good news for the Congress today. It seemed like a neck and neck fight. However, by the end of the day, the Congress has won Himachal Pradesh and 40 seats to the BJP's 25. And remember, Himachal Pradesh has a pattern of revolving door governments, but for a while it seemed like that would not happen because the BJP put up a very strong fight. In fact, the Congress is so worried about possible poaching that it has in fact moved its MLAs to nearby Chandigarh to avoid what it feels might be the BJP's somewhat predatory instincts in a post-poll scenario. Now let's take a look at the swings in both states. Well, let's take a look at Gujarat, where the swings have really been dramatic. No, I'm sorry. We need to look at the swings in Gujarat. Yeah, there they are. 57, a gain of 57 for the BJP, a gain of 5 for the Aam Aadmi Party, down 68 for the Congress, and basically the others have been a bit of a non-factor. The MIM, in fact, has been literally no factor at all. But what is interesting is that the Aam Aadmi Party has come second when we checked in 34 seats, but the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson Jasmine Shah was just telling us that that number has gone up to 42. All right, let's introduce our guests. Yeah, there I can see our guest joining us. Let me say hi to Amrit Gill of the Congress, to Ravi Mantha, who's an author and analyst. Good to see you, Ravi, and Professor Irfan Habib. Good to see all of you as our special coverage continues. Amrit, let me start with you. Some hope in Himachal, but decimation in Gujarat. Your first thoughts?
Definitely, it's like for Himachal, we are quite satisfied and happy. But as if we look into the Gujarat, and it's a sorry state, it's disappointing, and we lost, like our vote share reduced to 26% from 41, and that Aam Aadmi Party gained, and AAP really put it like we were losing because of the third front which came. But there might be many other factors on our parts, and we will definitely look into that. What were the all factors why we couldn't do good as in 2017 Congress did in Gujarat. It's disappointing for everybody. If I'll not accept, then it's wrong on my part. And Himachal, for Himachal, it's a good news for the Congress. And Himachal, everybody, all the leaders who were the observers, the Bhupesh Baghel ji, Rajiv Shukla ji, Priyanka Gandhi put it like she did many rallies in Himachal, and there was a team and teamwork also, and we got the results also. We got the fruits of our efforts.
Okay, Himachal has given some little bits of, like they say, hope to hold on to. Professor Habib, I think some things do emerge here. If I had to give 3 sort of big takeaways, it would be, of course, the Modi brand, which remains Teflon, unbeatable when the Prime Minister puts his mind to it and immerses himself in a campaign. The emergence of the Aam Aadmi Party on the national stage, and really a crisis time for the Congress, Himachal notwithstanding. Himachal politically just does not compensate for the wipeout in Gujarat. Irfan Saab, your thoughts today?
See, for me, I don't think any result surprises me. At least the win in Gujarat was almost ensured you can be surprised at the number of seats. Maybe nobody expected 150 plus, but victory was there to come, because we didn't see Congress contesting at all, and people kept on saying on different TV channels as well that Congress is not visible. So it looks as if Congress had already given up, because last time they were 70 plus, and they put up a great fight. So one could see that elections were not being fought the way they should have been fought. And when you say the Prime Minister, you can see how the Prime Minister himself was participating in the elections. As a Prime Minister, he took this election as an issue of prestige, despite being a small state, and he being a Prime Minister of the country, where you don't expect Prime Ministers to spend so many days and weeks actually contesting, speaking
But as
almost
they
in
say in
every
love
nook
and
and
war,
corner.
everybody uses their strongest assets. But let me
Okay,
also
I'm
welcome.
not. See,
Yeah.
I'm not questioning. I'm not questioning why he did it. But the point is, it was being done that way, and Congress was almost ill. So when you have somebody like Prime Minister Modi, who is an adept in election rigging, he loves that extremely well. He does that extremely well. So in that case, Congress should have actually done much more. Not that they would have won this election, but their performance would have been, I think, better.
Well, that's the point, right?
And
Like it feels
that,
like they didn't even
and
fight.
another
I
thing,
want to,
another thing,
yeah.
Barkha, you see, outside Gujarat, if you see, look at the by-elections elsewhere, they also
Yeah.
speak something. No, it's not that Modi magic is working everywhere. Like Himachal, BJP lost. In
But those
Rajasthan, Congress won the seat. In
those
Chhattisgarh,
bypolls, yeah.
Chhattisgarh,
We have
Congress
the bypoll
won their
graphic.
seat. In
Yeah.
UP, Parliament seat, Samajwadi won. Khatoli, RLD won. And Khatoli is a BJP stronghold for quite some time. So it's not that people have not responded to opposition parties' candidates. So they have actually supported them as well. So
Yeah.
magic, all right, but magic is not that it's invincible. If you work seriously, you can find a place. It's not so difficult. But point is, if you do give up the fight right from the beginning, then there is no complaint. You just can't say that Congress lost and
Yeah.
or any party lost for that matter.
Can I just say about the bypolls that a majority of those seats were not held by the BJP, where they've been lost, but they were held by the opposition. But yes, you make the point, of course, that the opposition has managed to keep them, including Mainpuri, of course, where Dimple Yadav in the Samajwadi Party bastion has won. Satyan Kulapkar of the BJP is with us. Namaskar, Satyan ji, and congratulations, an absolutely historic win. Sarvesh Mishra of the Aam Aadmi Party is with us. Congratulations to you too. You're formally now a national party. And of course, Amrit Gill of the Congress is already with us, as are Ravi, and Archana Phul is joining us from Himachal Pradesh. Satyanji, let me start with you. What is the big takeaway? That Modi is the only factor, Modi is the message, Modi is the only sentiment. How would you look at this historic mandate that beats a 37-year-old record of Madhav Singh Solanki? In other words, the best ever performance by any party in an assembly election in Gujarat. Satyanji.
We are very much happy. We are overwhelmed by the result. They are even better than the exit polls, and this is what we have been discussing, Barkha, during one of our conversation with you in Mojo some time back. That Gujarat will prove that the state of Gujarat, the people of Gujarat are with Bharatiya Janata Party, and they are voting for the Saffron Brigade. Yes, it's obviously Narendra Bhai is Narendra Bhai is the stalwart leader of Bharatiya Janata Party. The way he has worked hard, the way he has carved the entire the campaign around himself, itself shows that how much serious he is for the state of Gujarat. He also understands the Gujaratis in such a way that nobody else does it, and that's one reason which makes him the man of the match for today. Also, needless to say that even Amit Bhai Shah sir, Bhupendra Patel ji and C.R. Patil ji, along with our state BJP functionaries, they have been really working hard. The one thing that we have got from as inheritance from Bharatiya Janata Party is hard work. We cannot means I have never seen a single election where we have seen a single day where work is not done. I would like to give you an example. The election campaign, election ended on at 5 o'clock in the evening. On the very next day at 11 o'clock, entire BJP functionaries was at Kamlam. Whereas in case of Congress, it was just that typical watch they have placed of some parivartan they called off, but none of the person were seen in the Karyalaya. This is the basic difference. While I am talking to you, I'll say that this is my first debate for 2024 general elections.
Yeah, I agree with you that I think what's happened today sets the tone for 2024. But Satyanji, I have one question for you. The Aam Aadmi Party, even you and all other Gujarat BJP leaders, वो एक ही बात बोलते हैं, भाई हमारी opposition तो कांग्रेस है. आज भी BJP की प्रवक्ता ये बोल रहे थे. But now that the AAP has 13% of the vote share, do you acknowledge that you will have to treat them with the gravity of at least being an opposition force in your state?
See, they have got 13% from 0.01% last time to 13%. We congratulate them as well. We say thank you to all the 3.6 crore voters who have voted for Gujarat. Even all the 1,286 candidates who have filed their candidature, made be it from any party, but they have been a part of the democracy, and we all should congratulate each one of them. The reason being is, this is a democratic form of government, and one should understand that Janta Janardhan ka jo nirnay hai, that stands very much tall. It may be 13% for AAP, it may be XYZ% for Congress, and even for all the 156, 157 seats for Bharatiya Janata Party. So it stands tall, and we always congratulate them.
सर्वेश जी, congratulations of course also for officially being a national party. लेकिन क्या आप थोड़े से मायूस हैं इन आंकड़ों के साथ? Because Arvind Kejriwal तो had claimed, including in an interview to me, कि भाई सरकार तो हमारी बनेगी. आपके जो CM candidate है, he lost. I'm not saying it's a small achievement to reach 13%. I also know that in more than 40 seats, the Aam Aadmi Party has taken number 2 position. लेकिन फिर भी, are you disappointed that you couldn't convert it into more seats?
नहीं, अगर बात आप करेंगे कि हाँ चुनाव में कहा सीटें नहीं आ पाई, तो अभी आंध्र प्रदेश के चुनाव में 173 सीटों पे भारतीय जनता पार्टी लड़ी थी. माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने दावा किया कि इतनी सीट आएंगे और 0 सीटें आई. तमाम ऐसे मैं बता दूंगा. मिजोरम का वो चुनाव बता दूंगा जहां 40 में से 22 सीटें 23 सीटें. नहीं, बात मैंने सीटों की बताई. बाकी आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए, पूरे हमारे सभी कार्यकर्ताओं के लिए आज एक खुशी का दिन है कि आज हमारी पार्टी इतनी जल्दी से, इतनी नई पार्टी आज एक नेशनल पार्टी के रूप में बन के उभरी है. उसके अपने प्रिविलेजेस हैं, डेमोक्रेसी में उसकी अपनी इंपॉर्टेंस है, और हम सभी लोगों के लिए खुशी का विषय है. मेरे जैसे तमाम ढेर सारे हजारों लाखों जो कार्यकर्ता हैं, जो शुरुआत से इस पार्टी में लगे हुए हैं, जो इस पार्टी में अभी शामिल है, उन सबके लिए खुशी की बात है कि आज आम आदमी पार्टी जो काम की राजनीति करने के साथ साथ अरविंद केजरीवाल और उस आंदोलन को लेकर आगे बढ़ी, आज एक अच्छे मुकाम पर है. और एक ऐसे मुकाम पर है कि हम कह सकते हैं कि आज हम पूरे देश में रिकॉग्नाइज हैं. आज आम आदमी पार्टी पूरे विश्वास के साथ कह सकती है कि जो काम की राजनीति है उसे पूरे देश में पसंद किया जा रहा है. गुजरात में इतने लाखों लोगों ने वोट किया है, 13.5% के लगभग हमें वोट आए हैं. गुजरात में हमारी एक शुरुआत हुई है. गुजरात के लोगों का आम आदमी पार्टी, अरविंद केजरीवाल, हम सब बहुत आभार व्यक्त करते हैं, और हमारे लिए खुशी की बात भी है.
जी, मेरे और भी सवाल है, लेकिन पहले रवि एंड अर्चना को मैं लाना चाहती हूँ. रवि, द बिग टेक अवे फॉर यू.
Barkha, the main takeaway obviously is, how a 5-time incumbent party has actually increased its vote share from 49 to 52%. I mean, that is astounding. There is no other way to paint this. I mean, we can talk about whether they got so many seats because AAP and Congress split the vote. But the reality is that if you just look at the headline number, BJP increased its vote share in Gujarat, and there is just no, kind of getting away from that fact. The second thing is that obviously Aam Aadmi has eaten into Congress. You can literally see their vote share is pretty much a function of how much Congress's vote share has declined.
There it is on your screen, Ravi. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And you add you look at previous 2017 Congress vote share versus where it is now. That was pretty much all taken by AAP. And so I think AAP should be celebrating for sure that they're on the ascendance in Gujarat. So it bodes well for them in the future. But there's no question, if you just see what has happened with the BJP, that it's astounding. And the same thing, by the way, in Himachal, it's a much smaller state, but what's happened there is that there are a lot of rebel candidates in the BJP who actually defeated a number of the candidates. So if you look at even Himachal, where there's a very strong and powerful anti-incumbency factor, I think BJP should be actually, okay with how close it was, and despite all these rebel candidates. The one other thing I'll say is, I think there was the leadership change in Gujarat helped a lot, where Mr. Rupani was supplanted by Mr. Patel a couple of years ago, and I think they really went back to the cadre and did an absolutely astounding job. So congratulations to BJP.
Okay, I want to just bring in Archana ji from Himachal. All day long Archana ji neck and neck चलता गया, ऐसे लगा कि शायद कुछ surprise भी हो सकता है. आप इस numbers को किस रूप से देखती हैं? BJP did put up a good fight for a state that's always has been a pendulum state, swinging from one party to the other.
Yeah, results, they are on the expected lines, although the exit polls had predicted BJP win also. But we all knew in Himachal that the electorate of Himachal is different. It has a different behavior when they go to vote. So, the BJP, the ticket distribution was wrong, and then the BJP tried to overcome this local anti-incumbency with the central issues, central leadership. But I think that didn't work, and Congress picked up local issues very nicely, and particularly this old pension scheme and the unemployment issue. Congress promised the people, Priyanka Gandhi promised the people that they will address these issues in the first cabinet meeting. So maybe the employee factor is very big in Himachal Pradesh. We have more than 2.5 lakh employees who are under the NPS, and they are all demanding old pension scheme. So that
can I ask you something? Can I ask you something before I go back to the panel? The Modi factor, so invincible everywhere else. Why do you think it could not turn the fortunes for the BJP? Or do you think the fact that the BJP even got to this point is because of the Modi factor?
No, I think if you see the behavior of voters in Himachal, they really don't go for the personality cult. Like, there are very few leaders who are from the state, like Veerbhadra Singh was one, who could put up a good fight every time, and he won all the elections. Just he lost once from one constituency. But I think people of Himachal are smart enough to know that it is a state election and state issues matter more for them, not the central.
Okay.
When the 2024 election, you may see a different behavior for Modi.
That's a very interesting point, that the distinction between local and national is a very, very important point. Before I come back to, I want to come back to Irfan Habib, but Amrit, I want to ask you, as a Congresswoman today, do you feel demoralized? एक होता होगा ना, how to keep going. Himachal has helped, but Gujarat के आंकड़े देख के क्या लगता है कि मतलब मूड तो खराब हुआ होगा. How demoralized is the party?
So it's not like I'll say demoralized, as we all are discussing that Modi is invincible, but there were 3 MCD elections, Himachal and Gujarat were going on in elections phase and BJP out of 3 earlier it was ruling all the 3, and now 3 minus 1. BJP is in Gujarat. Yeah, Congress lost. We lost our vote share. We lost our seats. It's disappointing for everybody. But on the contrarily, we won Himachal, and that's a boost for us. And that's the point. That's key. We are very much empowered. Yes, at one point of time we have something to be upset about, but rather than keeping that, we are definitely happy with the performance at the Gujarat, because Himachal, and if you see, Himachal is adjoining to Punjab, and AAP was earlier trying to woo the voters of Himachal, but they realized that nothing will happen, and Himachal will have the impact in Punjab also, as I come from Punjab. So Himachal victory will definitely have a good impact in Punjab, and Congress and every worker in Punjab and everywhere.
You're still hopeful.
Yeah,
sorry,
we are very optimistic.
Irfan Habib, my question for you is this. Do you believe the Aam Aadmi Party is now slowly but surely emerging as a pivoting force for the opposition?
Yeah,
Irfan.
definitely. Aam Aadmi Party
Hang
is.
on, Amrit, hang on. That question is for Professor Habib.
Okay,
Irfan, sir.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
No
there
problem.
is there is no doubt about it. They have been trying that for quite some time, and Arvind Kejriwal has been repeatedly saying that, and that is an ambition of any political party. So that is not something very surprising or unusual, which AAP is trying to do. And the good thing for them is that they have achieved that very quickly, as the spokesperson just now said. And the point is that India is too big. India is not just North India or Gujarat. It's a huge chunk of India is still open for them, and one has to really work hard for that. And the Congress Party had that advantage over the years, which they have lost. That they had their presence almost in each and every part of the country, which gradually they have been losing. And other parties, like for BJP, despite being such a strong party and ruling at the center, they still don't have like significant presence in the south, except for Karnataka. Also, is very.
I want to bring in Ravi before I end with Satyan and Sarvesh. Sorry, if I complete your point.
Take some time.
Complete your point. Yeah.
For AAP also, despite getting that status of a national party, it will take some time. They will need to work more, even harder, and I wish them good luck. So,
Ravi, the AAP, the right wing that supports the BJP, I think hates the Aam Aadmi Party more than it hates the Congress. Why do you think that is?
Barkha, I actually worked in the Delhi campaign for Meenakshi Lekhiji in 2014, and I don't think there is any hatred. I think that's a little
skeptical,
strong.
suspicious.
But it's definitely there's a first of all, AAP I think is a very strong force. As it's wonderful what they've done in Punjab and Gujarat, spreading outside of Delhi. And we've seen other parties try this, like Trinamool in Goa, which came up with a complete blank. But AAP has done really well. But the issue is that as far as national elections are concerned, that those elections will be fought and won in the Hindi belt. And unless we see any kind of inroads for AAP in UP, Rajasthan, even in Bihar, until you see the Hindi belt being sort of converted into AAP base, we're really not going to see much impact as far as they're concerned on the national election. But it's wonderful that they're state by state becoming a contender, largely at Congress's expense. But that's I think AAP is a long way from. I know, and congratulations on them becoming a national party, but that's a long way from winning or even being a factor in the national election.
So Satyan, let me ask you this. There's a lot of talk about the absence of effective state leadership in Gujarat. That bar kaha jata hai, people don't know the name of the chief ministers. Mr. Rupani had to be replaced. That it is a party that is governed and won from Delhi. Did we just lose Satyan? All right, we just lost Satyan there. But let me give Sarvesh ji the last word. The point about your national ambitions. अब आप क्या चाहेंगे कि गुजरात में पहले build करें या दूसरे states में खाता खोलें?
निश्चित तौर पे हम राजनीति में हैं, तो अगर राजनीति में है तो उसकी जो परीक्षाएं हैं, जो उसका चुनाव है, उसका अटेंड करेंगे। अभी गुजरात हमने देखा, उसके बाद जहां जो स्कोप दिखेगा पार्टी उसका निर्णय लेगी। और निश्चित तौर पे आपको देखना होगा कि हम एक बेसिक एमिनिटीज का एक मॉडल लेकर जाते हैं सभी स्टेट्स में। इसकी शुरुआत हमने दिल्ली से की, वही मॉडल लेकर हम पंजाब गए, वही मॉडल लेकर हम गुजरात गए, वही मॉडल हमने जब मेयर का चुनाव हुआ, जो अभी थोड़े दिनों पहले मध्य प्रदेश में हुआ, वो गए। सूरत में वही जब म्युनिसिपल इलेक्शन हुए वहीं गए। चंडीगढ़ में म्युनिसिपल में हम सेकेंड पोजीशन बल्कि फर्स्ट पे थे, हमारी ज्यादा सीटें आई थी। बीजेपी ने वहां पे सरकार बनाई, उनका जो राष्ट्रीय लोकतंत्र को बचाने की मुहिम है, विधायक खरीदो के तहत पार्षद खरीदा उन्होंने। उसके बाद अभी हरियाणा में आए, तो आप देख रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से ग्रेजुअली देश की सबसे नई पार्टी सबसे तेजी से बढ़ रही है। और एक तरफ देश की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी है, एक तरफ सबसे बड़ी पार्टी है। इन दोनों से सामना करके ट्रेडिशनल पॉलिटिक्स के ढेर सारे ऐसे तंत्र इनके पास हैं, इन सबका सामना करके हम आगे की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं। और आगे भी आम आदमी पार्टी अपने इन मुद्दों को लेके जाएगी। जहां जिन प्रदेशों में हमारा स्कोप है उसमें जाएंगे, 2024 में भी हम जाएंगे। और जहां भी पूरे देश में आज अरविंद केजरीवाल की चर्चा है, आज दिल्ली मॉडल की चर्चा है, आज एक काम की राजनीति की चर्चा है। और ये किसी को लोग भारतीय जनता पार्टी के भी टीवी स्क्रीन पे भले ना बोलने में कोई गुरेज रखते हो, लेकिन वो भी जानते हैं कि अगर भारतीय राजनीति में शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, स्कूल, अस्पताल की बात करनी शुरू की है तो अरविंद केजरीवाल ने की है। अरविंद केजरीवाल के अंदर वो ताकत है कि वो कहते हैं कि अगर मैंने काम नहीं किया तो मुझे वोट मत देना। भारतीय जनता पार्टी की 15 साल एमसीडी में सरकार थी, किसी एक नेता की हिम्मत नहीं हुई बोलने की कि 15 साल के कामों पे वोट दे दो। एमसीडी के जो भी काम होते हैं, किसी एक नेता की हिम्मत नहीं हुई। एक एमसीडी के चुनाव में 7 मुख्यमंत्री, 17 केंद्रीय मंत्री और 150 से ज्यादा सांसद भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने लगाए, लेकिन नहीं मांगा।
मेरा समय अब खत्म है। मैं सत्यन जी को लास्ट वर्ड देना चाहती हूँ। मुझे लगा वो चले गए, लेकिन वो वापस है हमारे साथ। सत्यन जी, मैं पूछ रही थी कि मोदी फैक्टर इज सो ओवरवेलमिंग कि गुजरात जैसे प्रदेश में मुख्यमंत्री बदलना पड़ा, एक से ज्यादा बारी बदला गया है। लोकल लीडरशिप कैसे उभर के आएगी, ये एक सवाल था आपके लिए।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी का हर एक कार्यकर्ता सीएम है, कॉमन मैन है, और हर एक कॉमन मैन वो भी सीएम है। यानी भारतीय जनता पार्टी में जो लीडरशिप क्राइसिस कभी आया ही नहीं है गुजरात में। आप सीआर पाटिल जी को ले लीजिए, उनको नेतृत्व दिया गया, उन्होंने किस तरीके से परफॉर्म किया। भूपेंद्र पटेल जी को उनको परफॉर्म करने के लिए दिया गया तो उन्होंने कैसे परफॉर्म किया। इससे पहले के जो मुख्यमंत्री थे उन्होंने भी अपना पूरा कार्यकाल पूरा किया। कार्यकाल पूरा होने के बाद से हमारे में जवाबदारी कहीं ना कहीं आपले होती है। जैसे अभी मेरी जवाबदारी डिबेट टीम के सभ्य के हिसाब से आपके साथ बैठ के बात करने की, तो ये जवाबदारी रहेगी। शायद मैं अभी वो सरगस में नहीं हूँ जो विजय सरगस अभी पूरे गुजरात में निकला है, बट ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी है। तो पार्टी हमेशा ये मानती है कि जो जवाबदारी जो कार्यकर्ता को दी जाती है वो भली भांति कर रहे हैं, और इसी का नतीजा है कि आप एक ओवरऑल जो सिस्टम देख रहे हो। नरेंद्र भाई का चेहरा है, अमित भाई की मेहनत है, सीआर पाटिल साहब का काम है, बट इसके साथ साथ कार्यकर्ताओं का जो पूरा जुनून के साथ जो लगने का जो तवज्जो लेते हैं हम लोग, उसी का एक रीजन है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस तरीके से लैंडस्लाइड विक्ट्री की तरफ आगे बढ़ता है।
Okay, we leave it there. 100% a landslide victory, like I said, breaking a 37-year-old record. कांग्रेस की जो आखिरी उम्मीद थी वो हिमाचल प्रदेश से मिली. The आम आदमी पार्टी arrives on the national stage. There's going to be a lot to unpack in the days and months to come. जैसे कि सत्यन जी ने शुरू में कहा कि ये मेरा पहला प्रोग्राम है 2024 के लिए, हमें भी यही लग रहा है कि एक तरह से the kick-off for the general elections has begun. Satyan, Amrit, Irfan, Ravi, to Archana and to Sarvesh, namaskar. Thank you, and thank you to our audience for staying with us through the day. Have a great evening.
अरविंद केजरीवाल एक कट्टर ईमानदार आदमी है, कट्टर देशभक्त आदमी है। ये कहते हैं केजरीवाल फ्री मुफ्त की रेवड़ी दे रहा है। ऐसे लगता है जैसे जनता का अपमान कर रहे हैं, जनता को कोई भीख दे रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है कि सरकार बननी चाहिए। 2-3 महीने पहले तक ऐसा नहीं लग रहा था, लेकिन जितनी तेजी के साथ आम आदमी पार्टी का वोट शेयर बढ़ता जा रहा है, मुझे लगता है सरकार बननी चाहिए।
कोई रावण के, कोई राक्षस के, कोई कॉकरोच के, भाइयों बहनों, गुजरात માટે, ગુજરાતના લોકો માટે આટલી બધી નફરત, આટલું બધું ઝેર, કીચડ ઉછાળવાનો આ રસ્તો તમારો।
यहाँ पे मोरबी की ट्रेजेडी हुई, चौकीदारों को पकड़ लिया, अंदर कर दिया, मगर जो सच्चे लोग हैं, जो जिम्मेदार हैं, उनके खिलाफ कुछ नहीं।
वो बहुत अच्छी थी, ब्राह्मण लोग थे, और वैसे भी ब्राह्मण के जो कुछ है उसके संस्कार भी बड़ा अच्छा था, इसलिए किसी को मतलब करके गुने में डाल के उसको पनिशमेंट करने का बद इरादा भी हो सकता है।
You give a person a ticket who calls the rapist of Bilqis Bano, killers of her daughter and killers of her mother as sanskari. You take the Delhi Chief Minister's party. He does not want to talk about Bilqis Bano.
टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग को लेकर भारत जोड़ो यात्रा करेंगे तो संदेश सबको पता चल रहा है क्या कर रहे हैं। जो देश का नामो निशान मिटाने का काम करते थे उसको राहुल गांधी जी भारत जोड़ो यात्रा में लेके चल रहे हैं।
कांग्रेस तो बची नहीं है। गुजरात बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है। एक तरफ बीजेपी कहती है कि हमने कांग्रेस मुक्त भारत कर दिया, अब कांग्रेस नहीं है, और गुजरात चुनाव में कहती है नहीं कांग्रेस है। दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी जो है, उन्होंने एक वीडियो कंपनी चालू की है, रोज एक वीडियो जारी करते हैं। ना तो गाने हैं उन पिक्चरों में, ना उसमें सॉन्ग्स हैं, ना कोई डांस है। तो अगर ये रिंकिया के पापा या कोई डाल देते इसके अंदर, थोड़ी चल जाती।
पर्सनल रिलेशन में मैं एंटी मोदी, एंटी बीजेपी, बेसिकली वो वेदना के लफ्ज है हमारे। जो बीजेपी हमने बनाई थी वो नहीं है, जो नरेंद्र भाई हम समझते थे